Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well. Today, we have a really special guest on the channel, Veronica, the CEO of the beautiful SafePal wallet. I've reviewed this on the channel. I'll leave that link down in the description below if you haven't heard of it. But Veronica, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Forrest. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. This is Veronica, CEO of Safepal. I'm very honored to be invited here to this channel to share our latest program of in the last few months. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks very much for being here. So the first thing I think I wanted to address is what your background is. How did you get into crypto and what brought you to help create SafePal?
Yeah, very good question. So actually, I used to work in Tencent for 7 years.
Okay.
Tencent is one of the biggest IT company here in China, and also the mother of WeChat and QQ. I used to work in the security department, responsible for mass data product and also fintech product launching in financial industries such as banks, traditional insurance companies, all of that, to help them to have a better engagement with the mass data and AI technology. So based on my own working experiences, I personally pay a lot of attention to the high-tech topics. So Bitcoin went into my sight in 2015 when one of my friends sent over the white paper. I was immediately attracted to its delicate economic and technological model, especially the vision that value can flow freely on the blockchain. The vision and long-term concepts made me very drawn into it immediately. But back then, I only treated it as a research topic. So I never thought about entering this market. So it was not until 2017 when I have witnessed the crypto boom and ICO rockets and the huge success of Ethereum. I have saw the new opportunity into the blockchain ecosystem. So we decided to do something. So I invited a few of my friends who are also interested in blockchain and crypto, and we founded Safepal. So that is a story behind Safepal. Yeah.
That's really cool. That's really cool. So you got into crypto in 2015 because you read the Bitcoin white paper. I think that's a pretty natural way for people to get into it too, is reading that white paper and understanding what it's all about. So where do you see crypto going for the rest of this year? I know we're in a weird position globally because of COVID-19 and all the stuff that's going on. What do you see happening this year in crypto? Just off the cuff.
Yes, I think it's still quite in its infancy. I guess a lot of people mention about that because it's true. It's basically true according to the data and according to the applications right now in the crypto space. The user adoption of crypto and blockchain is merely less than 1% of the traditional internet users. So I think there is a huge space to go in the long term. And right now, for compliance and regulation parts, a lot of countries are still getting their way, adopting gradually to put all of the laws and regulations upon blockchain and crypto. So we think we have to wait patiently for at least more 2 to 5 years for this industry to gradually evolve and develop step by step. Good part is that it gave us a lot of patience and time to get ready for the future because, for example, right now, the hardware wallets and even crypto wallets are not popular or the choices are not very much. So there's a lot of space to improve regarding user experience and product features. And for Safepal, a young team like us is a perfect timing to cut in this market. And another exciting point is that blockchain is truly borderless. So we used to talk about all of the giants leading out of the traditional internet industry, like Google, like Facebook, all of that. They are centralized entity. So I think blockchain, what is the most exciting part is blockchain truly bring us a borderless value of internet that can enable, no matter in which country you are located, you can connect it to this network and to enjoy the value and all of the opportunities brought by this new technology. So I think it is the ground-changing part of the blockchain ecosystem, and I have a great faith in the blockchain technology. Yeah.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And I think for people that are in this space right now that are really, I guess, probably confused about where things are going to go, how things are going to pan out. I think this is a long game, and I think you were kind of alluding to that. It's going to take time
Yeah.
for all the things to fall into place, but this is a groundbreaking technology that we should be following very closely.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Totally agree.
So I would assume that that's part of what inspired SafePal, which for those who are yet uninitiated in what SafePal is, it's a really good, affordable hardware wallet to help you get your crypto off of exchanges onto cold storage. So there's a little bit of background, but what did inspire you and inspire the product? Like what went into the design of that?
Yeah, so we actually, when we decided to enter blockchain space in 2017, we considered a few directions. So among all of the possible directions, wallet is our favorite. There are two reasons for that. Firstly, wallet, especially, crypto wallet shares some similarities with the traditional financial app, like PayPal, like Alipay, we have seen in the traditional IT industry. They are the carrier of value, meaning that users can use the wallet to transact money, to just stake their value and to enjoy the DeFi services like that. But on the other hand, a crypto wallet is very, very different from the traditional wallets as we've seen, because it comes from the decentralized world. It is the interaction intermediaries between a natural person like me and the blockchain. So in the long run, what we are storing on top of blockchain is not merely cryptocurrencies, but also our own, for example, personal data. For example, my own video data stored in the DLive blockchain. For example, our depth data, our usage data, medical data, and all of that. So these data would need a kind of carrier or custodian for the users to sign and authorize the usage for third parties. For example, what if another hospital want to authorize my own medical data to access my own personal information, and I'm the owner of the data. So these are all of the digital assets when we are talking about on top of the blockchain. So this is very unique and very different from the traditional financial world, like Alipay and PayPal, all of that. So we think wallet is a very important infrastructure inside of the blockchain ecosystem. So it didn't took us long to decide that we want to make a unique wallet product back then. Deciding to cut in SafePal from a hardware angle is purely because we have saw a lot of strong demands in this space. I personally use a lot of hardware wallets, Ledger, Trezor, all of that, and I found that most of the current hardware wallets are not that user-friendly for especially newbies. For a normal crypto new beginners, it could take a half a day to finish the configuration of a cold wallet. So I have a lot of friends switch to software wallets whatsoever for the bad user experience of hardware wallets. Well, in the meantime, the software wallet is not secure enough. There are a lot of hacking cases happen to the software wallet, especially those exchanges wallets. So right now, the hardware wallets, most of them are very costly, and the user experience is very cumbersome, or they only provide limited functions. Like you can only store 3 to 5 currencies in the one device at the same time, like that. So these pain points push us to want to solve these problems and bring more value to the users. Most importantly, we think it is important to lower the difficulty of crypto management so that the accessibility of blockchain would be lower, easier for users to get involved. Especially for those users who are still looking at blockchain but not decided to enter yet. So long term, it is great for the adoption of crypto and blockchain, and we think a hardware wallet would be a perfect point to cut in, considering this timing and in the user background right now. So this is the inspiration we got from the wallet space, and that's why we cited us as the most secure, user-friendly, and affordable cryptocurrency wallet for the masses. So this is our mission in the current period.
Yeah, and I've used the wallet, and it is a culmination of a lot of lessons learned, I think, from using other wallets that are out there. It's quite easy to use. It's super light. It's something that I'm comfortable just, I can toss in my pocket and carry with me if I need it during the day. It's
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
And so as someone who leads a project that's developing, more and more hardware based technologies for, crypto wallets, what would you say the pinnacle of hardware wallets would be, right? Obviously there are constraints in our current, the current technology that we have, but what would make the killer wallet in your opinion?
I think in the long run, there is a great possibility for the hardware wallet to be combined with the smartphones.
Yeah.
So we have done a lot of research in this topic, and our security team has been doing research about the crypto chip and the hardware specifications on that. We are also thinking about integrating the secure elements inside a smartphone so that users are not necessary to buy another hardware device to keep, which is not that natural.
Yes.
For me, I think the best form of or format of cryptocurrency wallet would be embedded inside my own smartphone. We have seen some competitors trying in this direction, like the HTC Exodus wallet. We also tried that one, yeah, and similar like that. So we think there is indeed potential for the leading smartphone manufacturer to enter this market and build a cryptocurrency wallet embedded into the software. But the problem of that is that when the internet giants are trying to enter this market, there would be a lot of trust issues because we have seen that Samsung from Korea also trying to enter the crypto space by launching their own Samsung Galaxy wallets embedded by crypto wallets. So we have seen a lot of trust issue from the crypto community, and they are people started to talk about privacy issues and the goals or the purpose of the big giants doing such kind of technology and businesses. So we think there could still be a lot of problems in it. But from the technological point, I think the best killer format of a cryptocurrency wallet would be a smartphone type of wallet. That is what we are also looking into recently. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I mean, it's something that you carry with you. I think there's another adage that's related to something else. It's like the best wallet that you have is the one you have with you, right? It's
exactly, yes.
Whatever helps you be prepared and secure wherever you go is the best wallet to have. So I agree with you. I think obviously if we can mitigate some of the challenges that you talked about with privacy, with managing the fact that a smartphone is hot, like it's a hot wallet, being able to control that, I think there's no doubt that that's the killer, I guess, medium or body for a wallet. So that's really cool.
Exactly. Yeah.
So to date, how has the reception been for your SafePal wallet? This is your first product. It's gone out there. It's been around for a while now. What's the reception been?
SafePal actually was founded in early 2018. It's 2 years from right now, and we took the first year to polish and iterate the hardware products. It took us longer than we expected. In the meantime, we received a strategic investment from Binance, and SafePal S1 wasn't launched until last May, so it took longer than we expected. But we received a lot of positive feedback as we expected because users normally think our product specifications are very excellent, and the wallet is built delicately, and it is of the highest cost effectiveness. It is the most affordable cryptocurrency hardware wallet they can find on the market, and it is most importantly backed by Binance. So within our expectation, we receive a lot of positive feedback. So till now, we have users from more than 60 countries and regions, and which has proved that our standing point is correct, and our cutting strategy is also the right way to go. But it is still early for us because it is just the first year, right? We are celebrating the first anniversary next month. So it is still early to say that we are already strong enough. For example, we still need to provide a more diversified option of wallets for users. For example, people come to us asking for different type of wallets. For example, metallic, gold wallets, or even software wallets, or people comes to us asking for different functions like DeFi, staking, and also exchanges, etc. So we are looking into these user demands, and we flow with them. We do user research frequently among the community. So in the last year, we have focused mainly on the currency support and also security iteration. And the coming next quarters, the Q2 and Q3 this year, we are going to release a few new versions of wallets, including new hardware version and also software wallets, so that users can establish or set up their own HD software wallet in the SafePal app, which can enable them to move assets between the cold storage wallet and also the small amount assets software wallets. So we have been doing a lot of iteration in the past years, and we think in the coming next, we are also going to keep such kind of frequency. This is the core spirits and our culture to keep always updated to the user demand. And to this point, I think most of our users are very satisfied, and we have received a lot of positive comments from Amazon, from our sales channel, and also from our Telegram community. And we think these are all of the energies and encouragements that gives us the power to move ahead.
Yeah, and that's a great strategy. I think, especially in this space, because it's so close knit, and because there are a lot of really bright people in the space that have been here for a long time. Getting user feedback from them, which they will willingly give, is huge to develop better products, because it goes beyond, with hardware wallets, it goes far beyond coin support, which there's been a drastic improvement. The coin support that you guys had early on, like in May, June, it wasn't bad. But I think even then you've taken that and doubled down, and there's been a ton of coin support added over time, which is great. But I think you need to be adding more features and giving people the ability to use the wallet differently, which I think you guys are doing too, which is smart in my opinion, because the more cool stuff that comes out in terms of DeFi, staking, in terms of being able to vote in sort of like a delegated proof of stake environment, all these different things are really powerful, and users want to be able to take advantage of it. So wallets also have to think about that too, which there's some technical overhead to do those sorts of things. So
yes, it would take longer for us, because for our team style is that we usually consider a lot of details when launching a new feature. It would take longer, but once it is released, people will like it. So we are for sure going to add more new features, but it has to be a baby steps. So gradually we are going to add them into the wallet to provide more services for our end users.
Yeah. So it would be fair to say you guys are very much stability over agility.
Yeah, kind of like that.
Fair enough.
Because the core members from SafePal all used to work in security industry. We have hardware experts, we have software experts, cybersecurity experts, and me personally working for a Tencent security department. We take crypto assets security very seriously. So we think security and stability is the most important thing, the top priority of our product strategy. And next come to the user friendly and all of that user interface and also important. So these are the two key cornerstones for SafePal business.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people get frustrated in the space when, whether it's protocol based or product based, when new features don't come quickly, like Ethereum 2.0, why is it not out yet? Everyone says that. The reality is that it's different even than traditional technology, where you maybe could run a beta product and then you could send it out, you could test it, you could push a feature and then pull it back. Like in this space, you really only have one shot with a lot of these things. And if the mistake is made, then a lot of funds are at risk. And that's the case in some cases with traditional tech, but it's more important here than it ever has been, to just get it right the first time.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Trust is very delicate in the crypto space.
It is.
People trust in code, but the more code, the longer the code is, the more bugs there will be. So this is a dilemma we are facing with.
And that actually, you brought up a great point that I actually wanted to ask you about. And this is, I am not actually sure of this, so I'm not asking a rhetorical question that I know the answer to. where do you guys stand in terms of open source code? Like how much of, if any, of your, your core code is open source, and what are your thoughts on open source for wallets?
Yeah, very interesting, because we just had the discussion with one of our our users, active users in the SafePal community, and he came to ask us why is not SafePal not open source yet?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, right now, yes, indeed, we are not open source yet. We take open sourcing very seriously and also cautiously. We think in the long run, I'm not sure about the exact timeline. Probably 1 or 2 years later, the open source will be fully ready. We will open up gradually, including the SafePal app, including the firmware running on top of the hardware, and including all of the coming product features, codes, audits of all of the SafePal products. It takes a longer and a more cautious on our side. So I think open source is a very important step for mutual trust between SafePal and also the end users. People need to see what's inside. People need to see whether you have backgates, whether you have malicious code running on top of the product. We think it is natural demand for the users to have a code is law investigation into the product. So we think we'll surely do that. It just took us longer because right now we need to do a lot of massive product iteration first, and then to make sure that open source is not a double sword that are going to harm SafePal users. Because open source also means to open up all of your codes inside in face of the malicious attempts attackers. So we think it's a double-sided sword. We need to take it seriously, and we need to take the baby steps gradually. So right now, the dev team is right now considering all of the preparations for open sourcing, what we need to do and what we have to get prepared first before open sourcing. And then we will gradually move on into our timeline. So like I mentioned, in the coming Q2 and Q3, we will mainly focus on a few other functions that are eagerly looking by our end users right now. People came asking for all different kind of functions. So we need to deal with these user demands, and in the parallel way, we are going to spread a few of our engineers into looking how we can better open source our product so that users can have a transparent investigation into SafePal, and we can have a better engagement between the crypto community and all of that. So yeah, it is a very good question. It is also one of the most frequently asked questions by our end users. Yes,
I figured so. And look, like I think that. So I've spoken to a handful of different wallet companies on this topic, and a lot of times it's a similar answer. Some providers though basically said like, we're not going to open source some of this stuff ever because it's secret sauce and we're not going to give it up, right? And we want it's for safety reasons. But I think the important thing is that the open source components need to be related to firmware and related to the secure element. So as long as the community can audit that part, the software, the software interaction piece is less important because those things are a little bit more transparent by design anyway. As long as you know that the hardware is on your side and there's no backdoors there, then you can work around the rest. And so for all wallet companies out there, at least I would urge, aim for the firmware and hardware open sourcing first, and then the rest can trickle in later.
Yes, exactly. So we have heard two types of stereotypes from the crypto space. Firstly is that people tend to think that open sourcing means more secure. But actually, there are two different topics. Open sourcing means that you are not doing bad things. You are not doing malicious attempts behind the back of your users. You are doing the things in the legitimate way. It means trust. So open sourcing means primarily it means trust between you, the company, and also the end users. And secondly, open sourcing is good for security because you are not building the products by yourself anymore. You are leaning, also depending on the third parties, the bigger crypto communities who are the experts, some of them who are the best experts in the crypto space. They can can push a hand onto your product and to make it safer and better. So it is indeed a very important step for us to evolve rapidly toward the crypto future, because it means that you have to act rapidly and also agilely toward all of the feedback from the open sourcing and like GitHub developers. So this is a good thing to go. But I don't think it is truly trustworthy to think that the wallet companies who are open sourcing are the safer ones, because these are two different topics we are talking about. Yeah. It's just that they are more kind of trustworthy, I can say, because they dare to open up for transparency. But to be honest, a lot of open sourcing, as they mentioned, are not fully open sourcing. Like they are some of them are partially open sourcing, which still has a lot of problem, because there is a still unseen part in the product. So it totally depends. It totally depends on the strategy of the company. But my personal opinion is that open sourcing is very crucial for crypto company, no matter if it is a wallet company or other companies like or the protocol or the smart contracts projects. Open sourcing is a very important step.
Definitely, yeah, and your point is right on the money. It's less so a security checkbox, it's more so a transparency checkbox. It's that you can now audit that there's no backdoor in here, we're not up to no good, but it doesn't mean that the code is secure just because it's open source.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah, that's my point.
Absolutely. So you talked a little bit about growth and agility and the ability to obviously develop new features and develop them in a stable way rather than just getting them out as quickly as possible. How did Binance's like incubation program or their investment in SafePal help bring the product from where you were 2 years ago to then launch in May? Like what did that do for you?
Binance is one of the earliest strategic investors of SafePal. So being one of the most prestigious exchange platforms in the ecosystem, Binance actually has been very supportive for SafePal over the past 2 years. We have been working closely with the Binance dev team, marketing team, and growth team. I personally know a lot of members from Binance. So all of the Binancers share the similar spirits. That is, they are very open, proactive, energetic, and very helpful. So being the first hardware wallet invested by Binance, SafePal is inherently trusted by a lot of users, which puts actually even bigger pressure on us because trust is a very precious asset for a crypto company in the decentralized world. So there's a lot of pressures on this, but Binance has been very supported. For example, SafePal is one of the earliest crypto wallets supporting Binance Mainnet, Binance DEX, and coming next, we are going to have another few milestones taken with Binance. So we are not lying back on the Binance resources. On the opposite, we try very hard to build our product safer and better in order to make us fit with the support and opportunity brought by Binance. So I'm lucky to say that we have done our best in the past 2019. We became one of the earliest crypto wallets to support all of the features I just mentioned. And we received tons of positive feedback from not only Binance community, but many more crypto communities like Tron, Neo, and Harmony like that. So these achievements give us the power to move faster. So Binance has shared a lot of resources and also a lot of suggestion when we have been developing our products. For example, the reason why we integrate with Wallet Connect protocol, a protocol that enables users to log into the DApp world seamlessly. This suggestion also we received from the lead of Binance dev team. He strongly recommends us to look into the protocol, and then we decided, it is a really good way to go to provide a better user experience. So all of the people who work in Binance has been very helpful, and they are open for discussion whenever you can asking questions for them. So I think this is a very strong culture that CZ and He has been leading the Binance team, because from the top management team to the front line workers in the production lines, we have seen similar spirits. They are working very diligently day and night, and they reply your messages even in midnight. So these are very impressive spirits that we should learn from. And these are also the elements that drive us to move faster and look up to them, to work as the best we can.
Yeah.
So Binance means pressure for us, and Binance means helps for us. We need to do our best and do better.
It's a healthy dose of both. And
yeah.
That being said, one of the things that I appreciate about Binance is that, for all the success and all, any of the criticism that gets pointed their way, the thing that they do really well is they incubate and they help grow products that make the space better without saying we're going to just take this over and we're going to control it. Because I've noticed that there are some sort of like venture capital agreements basically where those who invest sort of want control and they want to sort of creatively guide the project. Whereas I feel like Binance in this space specifically has said, we're going to help you, support you, give you marketing resources, give you capital, whatever it is. We'll give you some pointers, but it's your product and we're going to let you build what you wanted to build in the first place. And I think that's pretty powerful.
Yes, exactly. Yes, I totally agree with that. Yeah.
So yeah, respect there. So I know we've been speaking for about half an hour, and I always like to wrap up these sort of calls with a couple of little questions that I think are interesting. So in a sentence or two, where do you see cryptocurrency and blockchain 2025, 5 years from now?
Oh,
I know it's a tough one.
This is a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough question. Everyone has the same reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's too early to predict. Yeah. On one hand, consensus is unreversible. It's only getting back bigger and bigger. It's only going to develop gradually. It cannot go back forward whatsoever. We have seen a lot of countries have regulations and compliance laws upon the crypto and blockchain. So I think 5 years from now, we shall see successful examples of the regulation part of blockchain space. And I think two kinds of countries we have the biggest applications of blockchain. One type is that those countries with intense technical talents, for example, America. China is also one of them, and also European countries who are traditionally good at the IT industry, who has been doing really good in the high tech parts. So the blockchain is going to flourish in these markets. And another type is exactly the opposite. Another type is those countries with eager demand for crypto and blockchain applications, especially those emerging markets like developing countries like Nigeria, Uganda, those African and South American countries. They shall see a lot of positive feedback upon crypto and blockchain. So these two type of countries, in the 5 years from now on, I think we shall surely see the solid foundation and solid application in the national level. This is the one thing that I really look forward to. And another part, I think, let's not be too positive about that because it's way too early. We need to have more patience. So 5 years from now, I think that probably 60 or 70% of the current crypto company would be flourished, and a new round of cryptocurrency companies will start to come, and there will be more and more traditional talents like me who used to work in financial, in fintech, and in traditional industries that are going to enter this market. So the game is going to be changed. The rule will be evolving. So we think we need to pay close attention to the trends, and we need to also have more patience for ourselves, because right now, like SafePal is a hardware wallet, right? But coming next, in the long run, 5 years from now, we aim to become the one-stop crypto custodian management platform for the masses users. So this is a long-run vision. So 5 years or 10 years from now on, we are moving forward into that long-term vision. But right now, we have to focus on currency support, security features, and all of the tiny bits that we need to build on top of the products. So it takes longer, and it takes a lot of patience and waiting for that moment to come. So 5 years from now on, we shall surely see a lot of solid application of blockchain in the reality world. But on the other hand, we still need to keep the current low key and low profile, patience, and also to keep humble attitude upon the emerging technology. So
awesome.
yeah, that is my difficult answer to your difficult question.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Especially the part about adoption being different in different places. Places where there isn't a lot of infrastructure, it's going to look a lot different than places where there already is.
Yes, exactly.
Great. Final question. What are 2 products or projects other than SafePal that you like in the space? Can be anything.
Can be anything. Can be in crypto space or any or other.
It can be. Let's keep it in tech.
Okay, keeping in tech.
Yeah.
Okay, so firstly, finance.
Fair. Yeah.
I personally am a big fan of finance. I use finance a lot for my crypto exchanges and all of that. And secondly, SafePal. I'm not going to say anything else.
Okay, fair.
Yes.
Well, I'll let it go
fair
this
enough,
time.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Awesome. Veronica, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Folks, if you're watching still, thank you very much for watching through the video. I will leave a link down to the SafePal review as well as the SafePal product itself down in the description below. And if you have any feedback, questions, concerns, send them my way. I'll send them to Veronica and team. Veronica, thanks. Have a fantastic rest of your night. And thanks for joining at such a late hour.
Thank you for stay safe. Okay.
I will. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers.